dirty dicks, black bitch, rank turd. What do all these things have in common? Of course, they're all names of British pubs. Many pubs have weird names, but we'll get into that later. Firstly, what is a pub? The word pub is short for public house because it's not a private house. As a member of the public, you can step inside, purchase an alcoholic beverage, and get lubricated. That's a term for getting drunk. Speaking of which, welcome to the first in a series I'll be doing on the popular British pastime, drinking. Or is that getting drunk? In this episode, I'll be educating you right up about the places you can go to get lubed up. That's a variation of the previous term for getting drunk. My name is easy to pronounce. This is Good Bad English. Oh, cheers. Fun fact, London has around 3,500 pubs. For comparison, Starbucks, which are everywhere, only have 1,000 branches across the UK. Good work, London. But what exactly defines a pub? It's likely that the pub license does, but generally, a pub is defined as a premises that is a pub and membership or I'll make it simple for you though. A pub is a place where you go to get plastered, which is one of the many terms used for getting drunk. Pubs are considered the heart of England. Not just by me though. Samuel Pepys, some famous British 17th century diarist fella, also described them as such. However, pubs have been around way longer than that. They just weren't called pubs before that. In England, around and from the 17th century, pubs were known as taverns, from the Latin word taberna, meaning shed, workshop, or stall. After the 19th century, nobody really called them taverns. And in the 21st century, shit me, that's now. You have a few alternatives for the word. These days, if an English person says they are popping down to the local, they will of course be going to the nearest pub. You might also hear a Brit refer to their local as a watering hole, which I guess comes from the name of the place where animals go to drink. Some British animals might refer to their watering hole as a boozer, because the place sells booze. Check out my second episode in the series to learn about the origins of that word. The word bar is kinda synonymous with the word pub, but strictly speaking, a bar is part of a pub. You'll stand at the bar to order from the bar staff or from the landlord. Hi mate, 2 carlings and a packet of pork scratchings, whenever you're ready. Don't ask. The landlord or the landlady is the owner of the pub license, but not necessarily the premises. If you're watching this in 2028, then you'll probably be ordering your drink from the land person. Americans will refer to some of their drinking establishments as bars. They might refer to some of those bars as dive bars, kind of meaning a shitty place to drink. These days, Americans will piss their pants, meaning to get really excited, to go to a dive bar as opposed to a decent place. Funner fact, at one point there were 657 pubs by the name of the Red Lion in the UK. These aren't like Starbucks, they all separately chose to call themselves that. Interestingly, a woman by the name of Kathy Price had a drink in every single one of those Red Lion pubs. Good one, nice one Kathy. I think I've had a drink in at least 4 of those of the Red Lions. Yep, many pubs share the same names. In fact, at one point across the UK, you could find 509 pubs named The Crown, 432 named The Royal Oak, and 317 named The White Hart. So how the frick do you know when you're standing outside a pub? The name is going to be a giveaway. In my mind, pub names are kind of like music band names. The names will often start with a the and have an and in them somewhere. Pub names can derive from historical events, historical people, locations, and occupations. At times, pub names will involve humour, such as puns, meaning a play on words. For example, the do drop in, as in a play on do drop in. I occasionally drink there. Sexual innuendos can be implied. For example, the force it in. Get it? Like force it, like tap, and then force it in. There are also plays on terms. For example, the cock and ball, as in playing with the term a cock and ball story, meaning someone's talking bullshit. Funny pub names also include the Job Centre, the Kicking Dicky, the Dandy Cock, and the Moody Cow.
Mind the gap.
Rubber dub, bathtub, and nuclear sub are all Cockney rhyming terms for the pub. Cockney rhyming was, maybe still is, a London thing. In the early 19th century, a certain type of Londoner would use a rhyming slang to evade the police. Many terms still exist today, but you'll rarely hear them. Aside from Cockney rhyming terms for the pub, there are also Cockney rhyming terms for the bar. So you could say you're going to the Ringo Starr, as in the drummer for the Beatles. You could also say you're going to the near and far. And lastly, there is one for the boozer. So you can say you're going to the battle cruiser.
Mind the gap.
Pubs, bars, and restaurants are all places that you go out for a drink. But what happens if you're going out? If you're going out, you're really going out. And I'm not talking about after-work drinks with the girls from marketing, or even the piss-up for Mike's 30th. If you're going out, then you're more than likely going to a nightclub or some late-night drinking establishment, or some joint that will be fueling you with alcohol until the early hours. So be sure to check when somebody asks you to join them when they're going out. Ask them this. Yeah, but we're going or we're going It's like out. Just drop the T, right? If, however, you're staying in to drink, then you're more than likely going to go to the offie to get your alcoholic beverages. These are places that are licensed to sell you alcoholic beverages to take out. but not out though. Dear audience, with your input, imagine what we can achieve. Add your comment below to make me feel bad about the many words that I've missed, about the many places that you can go to get a drink. However, we can be better than this. Join me on Instagram and or Twitter to be able to give me input before I make these episodes. Greatness awaits us. Lastly, thank you for joining me in this episode on the series I'm doing about drinking. Be sure to check out the other episodes. There's one on how to tell people that you're drunk, like saying you're shit-faced. And there's another on the various weird ways that people will tell you that they're having their drink. For example, chugging it. As always, if you like this episode, then be sure to smash that like button. And to learn more good, bad English, be sure to destroy that subscribe button. See you in the next one. Alright, mate. 2 Carlings and a pocket of